Good morning. Welcome to this morning's service. We will begin the service with the ringing of the kancho, followed by the chanting of Junirai, which starts on page 26.
合唱、プリジョミン合唱、ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナモアミダ仏、ナマンダ、ブナマンダ、ナマンダ、ナマンダ。Chanting of Junirai on the page 27. Keshu tenin shokugyo Amida sen ryozoku son Zai hi mimeu anrakok Muryou bushi shuine 金色心情入線のシャマタ行入造部両目上脈小蓮華古賀長来弥陀尊面前炎上入満月以降有尿千日月小尿天空くしら古賀長来弥陀尊観音長大観地宇治主十名相法小言ノイブクゲドウマケウマコガチョウライミダソンムビムクコウショウジョ習得ケウケンヨコク小サリ薬徳自在古賀長来弥陀尊自法妙門菩薩衆無量小魔上三段一生主上願力寺古賀長来弥陀尊根体法見知小家お伝言症状ねう大座おひざ上尿線の古賀長来弥陀尊自法将来小武士権限人図師安楽戦後尊厳上空行古賀長来弥陀尊 小無小無がと苦行水願伝よろ一種説法無明人子が将来みだそん非尊仏説無悪名薬無尿に悪道不主任死神教非尊子が将来みだそん非尊無料法勉強無少種悪知識往生不体死菩提子が将来みだそんがせ非尊苦毒人修善無変了解水小逆前後小上者衛生主上小非公ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブがんにしくどく病道生祭道本菩提心おゆじょゆあんだこナモアミダ仏ナモアミダ仏ナモアミダ仏ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダ
Today's gatha will be Buddha Loves You, and the lyrics will be displayed on the screen. Please join me for the reading of the threefold refuge. Difficult is it to receive a human form. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the Dharma of the Buddha. Now we hear it. If we do not cross over to the truth in the present life, in what life shall we cross over? Let us with sincerity and true reverence take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we, together with all sentient beings, awaken to the great way of enlightenment and to the unsurpassed intent of Amida Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we, together with all sentient beings, enter the storehouse of the Dharma, becoming like the wisdom ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we, together with all sentient beings, become units in true accord, in harmony with all things. The peerless, profound, and wondrous Dharma is rare to encounter even in many hundreds and thousands of kalpas. Now we are privileged to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Today's Dharma talk will be given by Rinban Katsuya Kusanagi.
Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to this Sunday service this morning. So today is January 18th, 19th. Sorry, I made a mistake. So in front, on the screen, I put some photos from, this is our Amida Buddha, then shrines, which is now republishing. So hopefully sometime before, some point this year, this will be reinstalled to the Hondo. Then we can have a service inside the temple, inside the Hondo. Okay, please go to the next slide. So, this Dharma School season starts September 2024. Then 2024, 2025, Seattle Betsuin Dharma School, we set a theme. Do you remember? Nobody? Really? Peace. Thank you. So peace is our theme. So we decided peace is our theme this year, this school year. Do you remember the reason? I know you all know. Okay, please go to the next slide. So this year is the 80th anniversary of atomic bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki atomic bomb. So this is one reason why we chose this theme as a piece, for the Dharma school year. Then when we think about, whatever happening in the world, I think it is important for all of us to think about how we can make this world peace. So I think this is a really timely and fit to the year which we are living right now. So please go to the next slide. Okay, I just picked some photos from Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Can you tell which one is Hiroshima, which one? Oh, thank you. Which one is Hiroshima? So this is Hiroshima, then Japan, August 9th, 1945. Then the other one is Nagasaki's one, August 9th, 1945. So this was happened 80 years ago. Then atomic bomb was dropped, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Then when I started thinking about the 80th anniversary, my father was the Nagasaki's atomic bomb survivor. So he was fine, lived up to 77 years old. He passed away 8 years ago. To me, because my father was the survivor of Nagasaki's atomic bomb, I had lots of chance to hear from my father what happened in Nagasaki. Then my father passed away. Then I came to Seattle. Then even in Seattle, I was able to see some hibakshas, Hiroshima, especially Hiroshima's survivors. But every year I feel we are having less opportunity to hear the survivors. Of course, we have a video, then we have some books to read, but we have less opportunity to actually, we are talking to those survivors, what happened 80 years ago. But still in Seattle, Betsuin is so precious, because we have some members who experienced Hiroshima and Nagasaki's atomic bomb 80 years ago. I think this is a precious occasion, precious opportunity to talk, especially Dharma school students can talk to those survivors directly. So sometime in this school year, I'd like to schedule the class or time, a meeting to Dharma school students can talk to those survivors. Then when I'm thinking about the peace, then tomorrow, what is tomorrow? Hi, どうぞ. Thank you. Martin Luther King's Junior Day tomorrow. So that's why no school tomorrow. Then because I grew up in Japan, I didn't study much about Martin Luther King's Jr. Then using my son's children's book, just a little bit I studied about Martin Luther King's Jr. Then this is kind of Buddhist, well, maybe Japanese or Buddhist way of thinking. I thought this is the day of Martin Luther King's passed away. But I learned this is his birthday. So, in Buddhist tradition, we have a Honko service for Shinran Shonin's memorial service, or, Renyo Shonin's memorial service. Then next month, we have Nirvana Day, Shakyamuni Buddha's, the day of passing. Then in, lots of funeral services and the memorial service I conduct, officiate. So that's my mindset was this kind of special day is someone's day of passing, day of death. But that is not, of course in Buddhism also we celebrate Shakyamuni Buddha's birthday, Hanamatsuri, then Gotan service is for Shinran Shonin's birthday. So we have, we celebrate someone's birthday too, but many occasions we are doing the memorial service and the funeral service. So that's just my way of thinking, I think. But tomorrow is the Martin Luther King's Jr. Day. Then the school is off. Then this is the time to think about what he did, what his achievement. Then when I'm thinking about Dharma school theme, peace, I think we can learn something from his guidance, his words. Then when I was learning about his words, his guidance, there are some words I was able to connect to the Buddha's teaching too. So that's why today I'd like to introduce his words and compare to Buddha's words. The first one, so he said, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. I put Japanese too. That's for me to understand, more easily. So that's why I'm so sorry. I can make the English one bigger, but for my understanding, I put Japanese. I leave the Japanese on the screen too. The darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Then I can connect to the Buddha's teaching. Please go to the next slide. The Buddha says, in this world, hatred is never eliminated by hatred. But hatred is eliminated only by abandoning the hatred. This is an eternal truth. So kind of similar understanding, how we can overcome those hatred. Then, okay, the next slide, please. The next one, it says, non-violence is a powerful and just weapon. Indeed, it is a weapon unique in history, which cuts without wounding and ennoble the man who wears it. Then I also put the Japanese too. So I don't know if this is a really famous words or not, but that's according to the internet. This is the words he says. Then the teaching which I was able to connect to the Buddha's teaching is the next slide. If you do evil, you would dirty yourself. If you do not evil, you would purify yourself. Purity and impurity are decided by each person. No one else can purify another person. So this is a Dhammapada number 165. Then also there's another teaching. It says, all people tremble at violences. All people fear death. Seeing that others are like you, you should not kill others or cause others to kill. So this is one famous Buddha's teaching too. So I could feel there's a common understanding, how we can do no violence and do not hurt other people. So, okay, the next one. Next one is love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. 愛は敵を味方に変える。Okay. 変えることができる唯一の力である。So this is a word which the Martin Luther King Jr. says. Then I was able to connect to the Buddha's teaching. So this is not Buddha's words, but one Buddhist word who was the survivor of Nagasaki's atomic bomb. His name is Katsuji Yoshida. I like these words that I'm using his words many, many times in my Dharma message. So he says the basis for peace is for people to understand the pain of others. The basis for peace is for people to understand the pain of others. So I could tell this is Buddha's compassion. In Buddhism, this is called compassion. Whatever we are using the words of compassion, I always remember this teaching. So then he was the survivor of Nagasaki's atomic bomb. Then one side of his face was burned. Then even after he was in the hospital for a long time. Then after he was able to discharge from the hospital, they went back to his home. Then on the way, he was taking the train or bus, streetcar. In Japan, maybe you can imagine after 1 year later, people kind of forgetting about what happens. Then people who has the burned his face, so people are looking at him, then try to avoid him. So kind of discrimination was happened in Japan, Nagasaki too. So then because of his experience, atomic bomb, and after the atomic bomb, discrimination against those survivors. So he had a hard time. So he wanted to share his experience. Then he didn't want anyone experience what he experienced, for 80 years ago. So that's why he visited all different schools or community center, then share his experience to make this world peace. Even he came to the United States. I think he went to the United Nations. He went to Chicago to share his experience. Then when we go to Nagasaki's Peace Museum, he passed away about 15 years ago at the age of maybe around 80 years old. He was really fine. So he was my family's Buddhist temple's member. So sometimes we are chanting together Shoshinge. His voice was so loud. So he was really lively Buddhist. So then he was really active for peace. Then he was sharing his experience. I really like this word. The basis for peace is for people to understand the pain of others. Okay, the next one. I think this is the last one. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? What are you doing for others? This is the words from Martin Luther King Jr. Then I was able to relate to this to the Buddha's teaching is, do not chase after what happened in the past. Do not expect too much in the future. Things of the past have been discarded, so concentrate the mind on what needs to be done today. So this is a Buddha's word, 2,500 years ago in India, Nepal, Shakyamuni Buddha told to the disciples. So I think one important thing is, thinking of other people, then it is important to think. Then we do something for other people who need help. So when for now, especially in the Los Angeles area, there's some, fire is happening. So I can only get the information from the website or TV news. I don't think I understood, what is happening entire, what, people are suffering in LA. Then, I think most of you also thinking what we can do for them, those who are suffering in Los Angeles. Then, so, maybe we can make a donation, or we can make a phone call, something we may be able to do something for them. Then especially one temple, Pasadena Buddhist temple, it was really close to the fire. Then some temple members lost their house. So probably as a same Sangha, Jodo Shinshu Sangha, we may be able to support somehow. So we think what we can do for other people. Then we can do something for those people who need help right now. So that's this teaching, of course, Martin Luther King Jr. are not Buddhist. Then probably he may get some kind of ideas because he also learned from Mahatma Gandhi's understanding, those. So maybe some kind of understanding of Buddhism he might have. But, of course, religion is different. The teaching is different. But still, there are some common areas, common understanding. Even, the religion is different. We can learn something from Martin Luther King Jr. too. So especially tomorrow is a Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So please think, you may hear lots of his words, teaching, the achievement, how we can connect his words, his achievement, his teaching to the Buddha's teaching. So this is, to me, a great opportunity to learn, what he did. Then, because I think this is a Buddhist minister's nature, how I can connect this to the Buddha's teaching. So maybe you can try to do the same thing, what I did. So thank you for attending this service today. To conclude my Dhamma message, please join me in Gassho, put your hands together. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Namanda.
Thank you, Sensei, for a timely Dharma talk. Do we have any public announcements before we turn off the live stream?
Good morning. Sensei mentioned this, but our Pasadena temple, sister temple, had several members apparently lose their homes during the fires, and I believe there's some other Sangha members from the other Southern California temples. So Pasadena has set up a fundraising site, which we've shared to our Facebook site, and also will be in the newsletter if anybody would like to contribute. And we're not sure if the BCA will be also doing some sort of funding in the future, but if there is, we'll let everybody know. But again, if anybody'd like to contribute, they have it's not GoFundMe, but it's a similar service. So if you don't get the email newsletter or have access to Facebook, you can talk to me and I can point you in the right direction. But just wanted to share that. And then a reminder that our annual membership meeting will be on February 16th after service. So once a year, we have a meeting for all the temple members just to share the actions of the board and give an update, share the budget for the year and whatnot. So everyone is invited to attend. If we do have any matters of voting, then technically only sustaining members would have a vote, but anybody that's a Sangha member that would like to hear what's going on at the temple is welcome to attend. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public announcements? Okay, at this time, we're going to stop the live stream. So we'd like to thank those of you joining us online for coming this week, and we will see you next Sunday.